So, I was very concerned by the child queue incident, and I wanted to see, was that an isolated incident or was it more widespread? Look, as Children's Commissioner, for me, children being able to have trust in those in authority and that they'll take care of them and keep them safe is really, really important. So I put in for these figures, I used my F2 powers, so, public bodies have to give me information about children that they hold. So I got the data from the Met Police, so that's 650 strip searches between 218 and 220. I got the 21 data, it was in no fit state for publishing, it was full of errors. What I was really concerned about were a number of things. Number one, a quarter of those strip searches had no appropriate adult there. Now it's the Met's own rules, it's in law, there must be an appropriate adult. That means a mum, a dad, a carer, a social worker, there in this most intrusive of searches. It's really important. We're talking about 650 children between the ages of 10 and 17. 25% of those were between 10 and 15. They're so young, they're children. Now, the police must be allowed to get on with their job, but, and police and do what's needed, but a child's safeguarding, the well-being of those children has to be paramount. So that data was really, really concerning. There are a number of other things too. The data, 1 in 5 of those children, we don't even know from the records where those searches took place. So, we know that some were in the police station, some were at home, but for 1 in 5, we don't even know. And the data also showed us other things, like, about 50% of the children that were strip searched were black boys. That overrepresented in the children being strip searched. So there are some really concerning things here. Now, I know the Met Police is making changes. They've confirmed to me they are. So they've looked at their guidance again. They have got a higher level of authority and sign off for strip searches, but I need them to go further and faster and to put safeguarding absolutely at the centre, of this work, of anything they're doing here in terms of strip searches, because these are children. And we must never forget that. There's no question that these searches are intrusive and they have impact both at the time and longer after. If you read Child Q's testimony, where in her own words she's written about just she thinks about it every day. It's upsetting. It often really, confuses and upsets children because they just don't expect people in authority to do this, and certainly not without an appropriate adult present. So look, I understand that there may be cases where a child is so at risk, or it's of such urgency and concern that something like this needs to happen. But an appropriate adult really does need to be there, and we need to do as few of these as possible. 50% of those 650 children, there was no further action taken. That says to me that it really is questionable whether that was the right action at all. So I think first of all, I think the data has not been kept properly, so it's hard to know in full what's gone wrong. But secondly, clearly decisions have been made that were not appropriate, that were not right. And I think having a higher authority actually signing off these strip searches is a start. But again, I think more training in safeguarding and how we work with children is obviously key. Of course, if it was, anybody's child, they would want to be there, or the carer to be there. And I think one of the main things is just not seeing these as children, young people as children, and needing safeguarding. Now going to call for the data on strip searches from every police authority in the country, and I'm going to keep doing this and publishing this data and asking these questions until I see the data improve. And I think that's probably the best thing I can do at this stage, as well as ensuring that relationships between children and the police improve in as many ways as possible, because children need to trust the adults who are there to keep them safe, and they need to be able to trust that the adults in authority will look after their well-being.